Alright, let's talk about overconsumption and the myth of pre-cut fruits and vegetables and single-use kitchen appliances, etc. are useless. A few weeks ago, I did a video about overconsumption, YouTube and TikTok commentary, calling out how wasteful it is to be buying like Kindle stands and page turners, the remotes, things like that. I did a video on that if you would like to go check that out, and I'm kind of turning it into a series of sorts, a mini series. But way back when, a couple of years ago on Twitter, it's still being talked about every once in a while now on threads especially and stuff, but I remember there was a time on Twitter, on Facebook, where people were all up in arms over pre-cut fruits and vegetables and single-use kitchen appliances. Or not even single-use kitchen appliances except for the plastic straws, but just the little gadgets all together that are just like one thing for each specific thing, right? Here's a phrase that I like to say a lot, and other people have said it first and I picked up on it. Accessibility is for everybody, but especially, I'm adding this part, but especially for disabled people. So things like pre-cut fruits and veg. Hello, I am a disabled person. I'm deaf. That has nothing to do with why I sometimes need pre-cut food or already made food. But I deal with a lot of chronic pain. I deal with a lot of chronic fatigue. And if I'm on my period during that time, it's even worse. I'm also extremely freaking depressed, and you know what? Sometimes there is just no energy, no help to be able to prepare things. I have carpal tunnel syndrome and tendonitis. Granted, things have gone much better in the last couple of years since I'm not streaming and gaming every single day for like 4 years, but I still have it, and sometimes I just can't pick up heavy things, or I just can't move my fingers very well, or my entire hand, my wrist, my arm gets numb. And it's just not in anyone's best interest, but especially mine, to be trying to hold something and also get a knife and try to prep all of that. When I am in high pain, high fatigue, or really depressed, I have this idea like, oh, I'm gonna buy all these vegetables and I'm gonna cut them up and I'm gonna meal prep them, because I'm also pre-diabetic and I had not been taking that seriously at all since I was diagnosed in the summer. Don't worry, I'm really trying to get that under control. If I'm buying all these fruits and vegetables, or I'm getting it from the food bank, the stuff's often, I hate to say it, it goes to waste because I am just not in the mood to prepare things. People say, oh, cooking this only takes 10 minutes and this only takes 5 minutes, but y'all are forgetting about the cleanup and the preparation. That takes a lot longer. Or I'm having task paralysis and I just don't know what the hell I'm doing. So if I have a meal in mind, say I do want to have some chicken and I want to have some vegetables to go with that, Hy-Vee is already going to have that prep for me. Sometimes it's in the form of a frozen bag, sometimes it's in the form of the plastic containers that you get in the produce aisle, and then I literally can just take it, dump it on a plate, and then put it in the microwave. Or if it's a salad, I can just put things together, put it in the bowl, grab my ranch or whatever, and just eat it. And that's just me. While I do have some mobility issues, I also have a great amount of mobility on a very good day. But I have friends who literally cannot pick up a knife, who can't do this and that, and that's where this pre-cut fruit and veg, or any food in general, is really going to come in handy. Here's the thing, if people don't eat, people starve and they die. And for disabled people, they're gonna have to go get this stuff, or they're gonna get sick and possibly die. And you know what? I don't care if the abled people want to have this too, because it's just so much easier. In this lifetime, we're working so many jobs and have such a heavy schedule that it's so hard to sit down and deal with this nonsense. And yeah, grabbing something from the Whole Foods, pre-cut, whatever, is going to make that a lot easier. All the more power to you. You can argue that the single-use plastic or whatever thing is an issue. And yes, we got a plastic problem in this planet. You know that's majority a corporation problem. Now, if you're someone who doesn't need to get this stuff and wants to do everything that you can to, minimize the harm, go for it. There are ways that I am also trying to reel it back, in single-use plastic, whatever, and also making sure that I recycle properly. I look at my trash right now, but remember when I said I'm trying? And then you have the single-use kitchen appliances, the straws. Ever since that damn turtle, listen, I feel for the turtle, but you know who really needs plastic straws? Disabled people. Jessica Kelgren Fozar made a great video on this a long time ago. I'll link it down below. If you like the silicone, pasta, metal straws, go for it. Glass is a hazard. Metal is also a hazard. People have died from the metal ones, I'm pretty sure. Right through there. Teeth get chipped, and then you know how much that costs to fix teeth? It's so expensive. There's allergies to think about. A lot of people are allergic to pasta, and pasta straws just sounds weird. Also, paper straws are terrible. They're just very, very, very bad. Again, if you don't like plastic straws and you don't want to get them, then you don't have to. But this whole thing where we're trying to ban them, and in some places they are banned, and people think they're just absolutely useless. False. They are not useless. Hospitals were using single-use plastic things because that was the most sanitary. And of course, people being like, well, what did disabled people do before this and that? In the words of Jessica, they died. Now, all this talk about these single kitchen appliance things, you could really name a bunch of them. And if you've seen any item on the 3 a.m., as you've seen on TV, whatever that thing's called, infomercials, a lot of it, I want to say, has disabled people in mind, but if you market specifically to disabled people, that's gonna make the price go up. Whereas if you just hand it off and market it to anybody and their grandmother and their cousin, the price is gonna go down a little bit more. People will really knock in on the bagel slicer thing. I think that's a great concept. If somebody has issues with the knife, I don't want to risk, nobody wants to risk cutting their pinky off. You're gonna have Chef Ann chasing us with the red marker. Just put the bagel in there, get the slicer, and done. Or, of course, yeah, you could buy a pre-sliced bagel bag from the store. But hey, what if there are no pre-sliced bagel bags? What if you go to the bagel shop and they don't want to slice a bagel for you because they're being mean that day? I don't know. You can come home with your bagel that is all intact and still take it through the slicer. Amazing. I was watching Worst Cooks in America a couple of days ago, and I saw a cherry pitter thing, and I saw it at Walmart this morning. I thought that was kind of cool. Now for me, I'm just gonna take the cherry in my mouth and eat around it and then spit out the seed, which is probably a risk of a choking hazard if we're being honest. So for somebody that may have issues with choking easily, quickly being able to use that pitter is really good, because I don't think anyone wants to cut around a whole cherry. That seems very tedious. The hard-boiled egg cooker. Now I know hard-boiled eggs already exist in a bag, and I know people were knocking some YouTubers for having hard-boiled eggs in a bag in their haul. Now personally, I don't think hard-boiled eggs in a bag taste very good, so I'm not gonna have those. But I always look at the cookers and think, I kind of want one of those, because you know what? I am terrible at boiling an egg. I know how to do it, okay? I'm not that useless. I know how to do it. But it's either never cooked enough, and then it's always like too soft to be a nice soft jammy egg, or it's too overdone. Or the thing I really had the most issue with is peeling it. I run it under cold water. I whacked it with a spoon and then tried to scoop the shell away with a spoon, and it just looks like I took the egg through a round of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I'm not going to buy the device because it's just gonna take up room. But I always just wonder, would I finally be able to have the hard-boiled egg of my dreams if I just had the cooker? Because apparently it's supposed to cook everything perfectly, and then you don't have to worry about it. But I'm stubborn, and if I should ever decide to boil my eggs again, I'm just gonna put it in the pot. But I get it. And again, like I said in the previous video about Kindles and their accessories, if you're buying like 5 of each item, that's an issue. But if you're buying one and it's gonna make your life easier, why are we so worried about it? Why are we yelling about pre-cut fruit and veg? And no, not every disabled person has a caretaker that can take care of these things for them. I don't know why there are people who think that every disabled person is given a caretaker by the government, but that's just not true. Caretakers cost money to have. You don't just get them for free. It's not like you carry around a caretaker in your pocket or in a hat and then you just pull them out. If you don't need it, you don't need to get it. If it seems useless to you, then it's not meant for you. But I like my single rice containers in little bags, especially now that I am pre-diabetic. So if I should want to have some rice, if it's already portioned out, that's going to help me tremendously. I overcook pasta, as in I make too much pasta, and I think everybody has that issue. Don't ask me to portion control my pastas. I don't even want to do that. So if you give me a whole box of uncooked pasta, I'm gonna pour half of it and I'm gonna want to eat it that moment. And obviously that is bad for me and my health. So if I have the little bags done, are they as good as when you just get the dry stuff and then cook it? No, not even remotely the same, but it works. I have portion control and less food waste, because I'm not making a bunch and then either getting sick of it or it's not just rotting in my fridge. Also, the avocado thing that I've seen, avocado slicer. You know how many times I've accidentally with my knife and then risked stabbing myself with it? That thing would come in so much handy. Accessibility is nice. Accessibility is vital. If you don't want it, don't buy it. Leave it for the person that does need it. And if you want to yell about something in regards to that, just yell about the lack of accessibility, because that's still an issue today. And that's my piece. If I do a write-up on this, I might do this on Patreon or elsewhere, but hey, that reminds me, I do have a Patreon, so if you would like to support the work that I do and get lots of content, you can do that for as low as $1 a month. But of course, the more that you subscribe for, the more that you get. Subscribe for more future videos on this. I wonder if there's a certain topic that is related that I could talk about. If I'm missing something, let me know in the comments and maybe I can make a video on that. So subscribe and don't miss out on that possibility. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I very much appreciate it, and I will see you later.